Forgiveness is liberation. Avoidance is bondage. Hi, I'm Pilma. We are on another video today, and I'd like to speak about forgiveness. We know how to do this because we've done this in another lifetime. This is not our first time. You will have a sense of it because somehow, when you surrender to the process, you are able to recognize people, sources of materials that will be helpful to you. You would know how to use them. You would know when to apply them in your life. You would have a sense that you have to go through this and you're no longer running away. Forgiveness is hard because we tend to equate it with justice. I cannot forgive this person. He has to be punished. But there's a saying, justice is not ours. Because justice is about balance, and the universe has a natural way of maintaining that balance. There's the natural law of karma, which is what you sow is what you reap. Because everything is energy. So when we have negative energy, what comes out is negative, and what we attract is negative. The same it is with positive. To forgive becomes easy if we have forgiven that person within ourselves first, privately. And you will notice that when you see that person, it's either that their behavior will change, you will change, or later on, you'll have an opportunity to really talk about it in a more calm manner. The more important process is the one that is happening within us. So forgiveness is you releasing yourself from the bondage of the wound and let the universe take care of justice. Because it will surely come. But then again, that's none of your business. Because your journey is different from the other person's journey. Their karmic lessons are different from yours. And they'll be fine. Eventually, as you will be. There was a time when this passage was very difficult. Imagine, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, and pray for those who mistreat you. But as I went through my dark night of the soul, I was wondering how I could befriend my hurts until they disappear. Then there came a night that I was moved to sit and close my eyes as directed by my intuition, and I waited. I started to whisper the name of a person who has hurt me at work. Simply mentioning the name gave me a torment. I remembered the dominant incidents and the pain with it. Then I allowed myself to feel and stay with the anger and shame, no matter the discomfort. My breathing became deep and heavy as I focused on these emotions. I began to perspire. As I persevered, I noticed that I could take the emotions. They were there, but I was still okay. The pain could not destroy me. I stayed with it and allowed myself to cry it out as if getting them all out of my system. Then I whispered, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you. I also remembered what I did that must have hurt him, and so I continued, forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. And then my breathing eased. Suddenly something changed. When I mentioned the person's name again, it felt neutral. In fact, there was a certain softness. The resentment was gone. Not daring to analyze what I could not explain, I continued this exercise. My mind went on to other people who caused me pain and whom I caused pain. I repeated this on every person that freely entered my mind. This time, no longer focusing too much on the emotion, but on the person, and saying, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you, and forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. I checked again, and it gave the same result. The names no longer affected me. To facilitate my memory, I went through groupings of people where I encountered them. When it was all done, I rested. I was exhausted. And then, I thought about my family. So I started with my parents and was surprised at the huge relief. Finally, relatives, significant in my growing up years. Ending the exercise, I offered all pains at the feet of Jesus as he himself suffered on the cross. I prayed that all past hurts no longer disturb my present and my future. When it was over, I listened to a love song. The sadness disappeared. I was able to enjoy and focus on the song itself without any heaviness in my heart. It was strange, but it was such a relieving moment. I felt different. The tension on my chest disappeared. It felt like the energies inside were flowing freely, and this episode lasted almost 2 hours, so I was physically tired. Yet my spirit was soaring, and I was smiling like crazy. Just to make sure, I mentioned the names at random again. Each one had the same effect, neutral. The pain was gone. The softness was more like compassion. I learned to bless my enemies. They were not really my enemies, I realized. The enemy was within. My own negative thought process attracted negative situations. The fear of rejection attracted people who rejected me. The external conflict in relationships were mirroring the conflicts within. Another person's rudeness just mirrored my own rudeness. So complaining and putting the blame on others just prolonged the misery. I needed to heal in order to be released from the destructive cycle. In that, I understood that I am responsible for whatever happens to me. God does not see our sins. He does not punish us. We are the ones judging and punishing ourselves. That's why Jesus said, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, and pray for those who mistreat you. It sounded hard, but now I see its wisdom. Shine a light on pain until it's no more. It is a way to free and to protect oneself. Contrasts and negative experiences bring lessons to learn. The negative lessons ensure that we learn the lessons. Once we do, it's time to reconcile or let go. No need to say anything hurtful. Instead, bless and release the pain and persons to continue in their own journey. After all, they too are in a journey. By doing so, we are released from the burden of emotional wounds. We go free. It is alright to love again. To end this video, I'd like to share with you an intuitive poem that came to me one morning. It's called Shadow Work. There are times that you will meet pain. It strikes you like lightning. Sometimes a ship in wolf clothing. You called it to teach you something. So stand firm in your power. You are bigger than it. Face it like you would a visitor. Know it, ask what it is there for. Recognize it the way you recognize friend. Feel its presence. Cry as you need. Speak your word of pain. Let it out. When you're done, breathe. Talk to pain, for it has come for a message. Listen and extract the learning. Like finding diamond in dirt, take it to add to your strength. Then forgive the bearer. Release the pain and its memory. The way you polish a diamond, imagine the visitor leaving. You bid goodbye and close the door. With the diamond on hand, you smile in gratitude and joy. Thank you and have a good day. Bye.